There is a silent force that moves beyond the confines of speech and language, beyond the boundaries of logic and action. A power so potent that it bypasses the physical and speaks directly to the soul. It is the unspoken voice of telepathy, not the kind of telepathy born of science fiction or fantasy, but the natural, undeniable, magnetic language of consciousness, the invisible current between minds that share one fundamental truth. Consciousness is the only reality. And when you understand how to wield your inner word, your inner image, your inner assumption, you do not simply influence them, you possess them. You do not merely attract them, you awaken in them a relentless desire to seek your presence. Because consciousness communicates with consciousness, soul speaks to soul. And when you assume they are hooked, when you feel that they are already connected to you in the deepest, most unshakable way, reality molds to that conviction with unwavering obedience. You are not waiting for them to text you, think of you, long for you. You are creating that experience in the only place it ever mattered, within. And in that sacred chamber of imagination, the spell is cast, not through force or desperation, but through a knowing so serene, so calm, and so powerful, it bends their thoughts to orbit around you. Not because you chased them, but because you became the origin of their longing. You assumed yourself to be the center of their inner world, and so you became. The world is only reflecting back the arrangement of your own inner reality. You are not watching life unfold from a passive distance. You are writing it, moment by moment, with every belief you hold, every inner scene you accept as true, every emotion you permit to remain. When you feel the thrill of their obsession within you, when you generate it as your present state, it must be mirrored by them. The question is not whether they are thinking about you. The question is, have you already assumed they are? Have you rehearsed their longing so vividly that it feels like memory instead of desire? The great secret is that you don't have to convince anyone of anything out there. You only need to fall in love with your assumption. Saturate yourself with the experience of being wanted, chosen, craved, so completely that it becomes impossible to doubt. You are not asking the universe for a favor. You are declaring a truth and living as though it's already complete. You see, telepathy isn't about sending thoughts like fragile signals across space. It's about being the vibration that causes their soul to answer, without knowing why. It's about dwelling in the state where their obsession with you is not only natural, it's inevitable. When you say silently to yourself, "They can't stop thinking about me," and you believe it, feel it, dwell in it without flinching, then you have spoken to their soul. You have whispered through the corridors of their subconscious and taken residence in their mind. You have become a frequency they cannot ignore. They may not know what changed. They may not understand why they suddenly feel drawn to you, obsessed with you, magnetized to your presence. But they will act on it because consciousness obeys the one who dares to feel it first. You are not separate from them. There is no wall between your mind and theirs. In the quantum field of imagination, all is one. You can walk into their dreams. You can plant images in their inner world. You can write your name on the canvas of their thoughts. Not by pleading, not by hoping, but by assuming. Feel the way it would feel if they were consumed by the idea of you. Walk through your day as if they are constantly thinking of you, smiling at the thought of you, wondering what you're doing. Dwell in that state, and you become a beacon, a silent but irresistible pull on their soul. They won't be able to escape it because you've already declared it to be true. This is not about control. This is not about manipulation. This is about the divine authority you were born with. It is your birthright to imagine and create. The same power that created galaxies responds instantly to the feeling you hold as fact. So when you walk in the knowing that they are already yours, not in desperation, not in impatience, but in inner certainty. You summon them. You summon the thoughts that will fill their mind, the dreams that will haunt their sleep, the urges that will drive them toward you without logical explanation. You don't need to look at the absence of their message. You don't need to check for signs. You don't need to ask, is it working? Because the moment you do, you have stepped out of the state. The moment you doubt, you deny. So stay in the feeling, stay in the knowing, stay in the delicious, sacred feeling of being the one their soul aches for. Become so convinced, so immersed in the experience of being desired that the outer world has no choice but to follow. And if the doubts come, if the old thoughts whisper lies of separation, do not argue, replace them. Step back into the feeling of union, step back into the state where they are already yours. This is your home now. This is your truth. This is the telepathy that will hook their soul to you, not through force, but through irresistible alignment. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And when you are the vibration of being loved, pursued, and cherished, you will see them respond, not because you reached out, but because you reached within. You held the feeling long enough for it to harden into fact. You honored the truth of your imagination until it became unavoidable reality. They will feel your presence even when you are silent. They will see you in their dreams. They will speak your name in thoughts they cannot trace. And they will feel a longing that can only be satisfied by your presence. That is the nature of this power. It does not beg, it does not chase, it assumes. And in its assumption, it rules the world. You are no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You are the one choosing. You are not seeking signs. They are seeking you. You are not hoping to be noticed. You are knowing that you are unforgettable. And because you have assumed this role, because you have crowned yourself with this identity, the universe bows to reflect it. The one whose soul you wish to hook is already feeling the pull. They cannot escape it. They do not want to escape it, because your consciousness has embraced the truth so fully. They feel you in their own. And what begins as a whisper becomes a hunger, a need, a magnetic fire they cannot resist. Do not wonder if they feel it. Know it. Do not waver in your assumption. Live in it. For the soul that is convinced of its power becomes a lighthouse in the unseen, a radiant signal that draws the perfect reflection of its belief. And in your belief that they are already thinking of you, already wanting you, already obsessed with you, you have written their behavior in advance. You have claimed their focus, and the universe must obey. So close your eyes and enter that space, not to escape the world, but to command it. Imagine them reaching for their phone to message you. Feel the pulse of their desire as they remember your voice, your eyes, your presence. Hear their inner monologue. Why can't I stop thinking about them? And answer that question for them in silence, because I have already chosen that you do. Let that feeling be your only dwelling place. Make it your reality, and it must materialize. This is not imagination for amusement. This is imagination for creation. This is the sacred art of impressing your truth onto the infinite and watching it return with exact precision. You do not need to struggle to be heard. You only need to speak clearly in the language the universe understands, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So go ahead. Assume they are already under your spell, not in fantasy, but in fact, not in hoping, but in knowing. They are yours. And the bridge of events will unfold perfectly to confirm it. Every thought you entertain about them becomes a thread in the tapestry of their perception. Every assumption you dwell in becomes an echo in their mind. And when you saturate yourself with the reality of being wanted, the universe will rearrange itself to make that your experience. You will be at the center of their world, not because you fought for it, but because you believed it. You dared to feel it before the evidence. And that daring That unwavering inner declaration has made it real. And now, let us go deeper into the sacred temple where thought becomes form, where imagination carves out reality, and where your unshakable inner state becomes their inescapable desire. Do not wait for them to understand what is happening. Do not wait for confirmation. Let the invisible forces do the work they were always destined to do. Your task is not to manipulate the outer, but to dominate the inner, to live in the state of they are mind, body, mind, and soul, and let that knowing radiate from you with such quiet conviction that the entire world must conspire to make it true. When you feel the certainty that they are obsessed with you, you change your vibration, you shift timelines, you alter the frequency of the very air around you, and in doing so you become an unavoidable gravitational pull in their life. They begin to think of you not by their own logic, but by a whispering force within them, a force they cannot name, a calling they cannot escape. Because it was you who first imagined it, it was you who first believed. It was you who summoned the thought, they are mine, and let it root itself so deeply that even they began to feel it as their own. Telepathy is not some mystical gift reserved for the few. It is your natural language when you shed doubt and dwell in union. It is the voice that does not need sound, the conversation that needs no words, the connection that transcends space. When you think of them and feel the reality of their love for you, you are not dreaming, you are creating. You are awakening their soul to a story that already exists in consciousness. And if you persist in that feeling long enough, if you dare to honor it more than the world of appearances, then you will watch as they rise into the role you assign them. An obsessed lover, a devoted partner, a soul bound to yours. You do not need to plead for attention. You only need to be the one who assumes it's already yours. When you rest in the feeling of being adored, pursued, craved, without flinching, without checking, without needing, then all that you imagine must come to meet you. Because the law of consciousness is not negotiable. It cannot resist the one who dares to feel truth before it is seen. This is the telepathic bridge. This is how you enter their mind and write your presence on the walls of their thoughts. You don't barge in. You don't force your way. You become so deeply embedded in the energy of we are already one that their inner being responds in harmony. You must remember there is no separation. There is no them and you. That is the illusion that keeps you waiting. But when you see clearly, when you drop the veil of duality, you will feel it. They are not over there, disconnected and unaware. They are part of your consciousness right here, responding to every assumption, every feeling, every inner word you speak. You have only to choose the version of them you wish to experience, but someday, now. So don't say, I hope they think of me. Say, they are thinking of me now. Don't wonder if they miss you. Assume it, feel it, and then let it go, not in dismissal but in trust, in knowing, because the moment you feel the state as real, it begins to outpicture. The moment you become convinced, their behavior will follow. You are not trying to convince them, you are becoming convinced in yourself, and that inner conviction is magnetic. Every time you feel their absence and believe it to be final, you give power to a lie. But every time you feel their presence within you, even when the physical says otherwise, you are reshaping reality. And reality must yield. It always yields to the one who holds the dominant state. Let that be you. Let the inner movie play on repeat. Them calling you, chasing you, loving you, obsessing over you. Not because you are trying to get something, but because this is who you have chosen to be. You are the operant power. You are the master telepath, even if no one ever taught you. Because it was never something to be learned, it was something to be remembered. You've done it before countless times. Thought of someone and they reached out, felt a shift, and they changed their behavior. Why? Because you live in a vibrational universe, and your state of being is the loudest signal you will ever send. So why not send one so clear, so pure, so wrapped in certainty that the only possible outcome is their obsession with you? Feel them thinking of you now, not in the future, now. Hear the words they are saying about you in the silence of their mind. Feel the longing building inside them. Feel their heart aching for you. Smile, not in arrogance, but in awareness. You are the one who gets to decide how they show up. And when you hold to that decision with love, with certainty, with joyful expectation, then the universe has no choice but to reflect it back through them. You are not alone in this desire. They want you too. Maybe they don't yet understand it consciously, but that's not your concern. You are not speaking to their conscious mind. You're speaking to their soul. And souls do not lie. Souls do not resist truth when it is offered with love. You are not binding them with chains. You are awakening them to the truth that already exists within you both, that you belong to each other, that you are already one, that their mind is your mirror, and your assumption writes their thoughts. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop wondering if it's working. It's already done. The only question is, will you dwell in that knowing, or will you return to the illusion of doubt? Choose now. And once you choose, never abandon it. Not when the outer world lags, not when the old thoughts try to return. You are not creating once, you are becoming it again and again until it crystallizes, and it will. Because nothing can resist the one who feels it real. This is your telepathic power. You don't need to visualize with strain. You don't need to script for hours. Just sit, breathe, and assume the truth. They are mine, not, I hope, not maybe one day, but now, present, real, yours. And every time you return to that state, you make it more solid. Every time you feel the reality of their obsession, their love, their hunger for your presence, you write it more clearly in the script of their soul. Let this be the only world you live in. Let this be your home, the world where you are already chosen, already loved, already deeply wanted. And watch how they respond. Watch how they shift. Watch how reality bends to your belief and delivers you a version of them that mirrors exactly what you assumed. There is no resistance in the field of the unseen. There is only vibration. And you are the one who sets the tone. You are the conductor. And your state is the music they must dance to. So play the melody of "They are hooked on me. They think of me constantly. They crave me endlessly." And feel it as your natural state, not as fantasy, but as fact. Because once you feel it, you've planted the seed, and what is planted in imagination must grow in experience. Speak to them now, not with words, but with inner knowing. Say silently, "You are mine, you love me, you cannot stop thinking of me." Say it not with need, but with joy, with calm, with truth. And then rest in that feeling. Walk through your life as though you already live in that world. Let every action spring from the version of you who already has what they want. Because when you live from the end, the middle must appear. The how, the when, the details, they are not your job. Your only job is to remain faithful to the state, to dwell in it, to return to it every time something tempts you to doubt. You are writing the story, not reading it. You are composing the symphony, not waiting for the music. And when you decide that their soul is yours, and you feel it fully, completely, absolutely, they will feel it too. They will not know why, but they will respond. And you, the silent master, will smile. Because you knew. You knew all along. And as you rest in that knowing, you find a strange peace begin to settle over you. Not because they've missed it yet, not because the evidence has surfaced, but because the deeper part of you has tasted the truth, and it is more real than any moment you have ever experienced in the outer world. That peace, that calm intensity, is the sign of power. The mind that truly believes does not flinch. It does not run to check, to ask, to analyze. It simply rests. It rests because it knows. Your rest is the declaration that the work is done, that you've created the moment already in consciousness, and so the outer world must now bend itself to that image. You have pulled the strings of the unseen, and reality is now simply catching up. This is the highest form of telepathy, not frantic obsession, not desperate desire, but divine certainty. It is the telepathy of the gods, the inner dialogue of creators who understand that all is consciousness and consciousness is law. So breathe. Let go of any effort. Let go of any attempt to force, to prove, to beg. Just feel. Enter the moment where you already have the thing you desire, and hold it not with clenched fists, but with open hands. Let it soak into you like the scent of a flower. Let it fill every inch of your being. Let it possess you until the world around you becomes irrelevant. Because once you are full of the feeling, the outer world must yield. It has no choice. It is secondary. Always has been. The source is within you, and it always was. Now imagine them again. But this time not from longing. Imagine them from power. See their eyes, lit with fire, scanning for you. Feel their energy, burning with intensity, needing your presence. Imagine the way they reach for you, not with hesitation, but with complete abandon. They are not doubting, they are sure, because you are sure. They are obsessed, consumed, addicted, because you dared to imagine it first. And the truth is, there was never any other way. You simply remembered who you are, the one who commands reality from within. You are not at the mercy of another's free will. That illusion fades when you recognize that there is no other. There is only your assumption made flesh. They act as you believe they will act. They think of you because you have believed it with such power that their mind must align. The soul is not bound by logic. The soul answers only to vibration. And when your inner world is saturated with the vibration of they are mind, the signal is sent. The message is received. And the response inevitably follows. They do not even need to understand what has changed. They may not even realize why their heart pulls toward you like a tide to the moon. But they will feel it. Their soul will recognize the sound of your calling. Their dreams will be colored with your presence. Their steps will be guided by an invisible force back to you. That is the pull of soul-level telepathy, not from begging, but from becoming. Not from effort, but from embodiment. There is no need to doubt. Doubt is simply forgetting your role as the creator. But even if it comes, don't fight it. Transcend it, replace it, drown it in the truth of your new reality. Return again and again to the image of them thinking of you, wanting you, needing you, and not from a place of ego, but from truth. Because it is truth. The moment you assumed it, it was done. And everything that follows is just the unfolding, the echo, the manifestation of the seed you planted in your mind. You are the master of your reality. You are the silent whisperer of destiny. You do not wait for life to show you signs. You are the sign. You are the signal. You are the reason. So make your assumption so beautiful, so powerful, so vibrant, that the universe cannot help but to echo it back in a million different ways. Through words, through encounters, through dreams, through gestures, until every inch of your outer world sings the song you first hummed in silence. And if the old world tries to rise again, if the version of them that once ignored you, hurt you, overlooked you, tries to return, do not flinch. That is simply a dying echo. It is a ghost of the past you no longer live in. Stay loyal to your new world. Stay loyal to the version of them who is obsessed with you, enchanted by you, tethered to your soul by a force they cannot name, and in time, that version must rise to meet you, because you never left the vibration of union. This is how souls are hooked, not with manipulation, but with truth, not with games, but with clarity, not with waiting, but with embodiment. You don't need them to say the words, you need only to feel the truth. You need only to dwell in the joy of already being wanted. And in that feeling, your work is done. You have telepathically linked yourself to them in the deepest, most sacred way. They are yours, you are theirs. The rest is just time collapsing into form. So let your inner world be so rich, so vivid, so saturated with the assumption of love that it overflows. Let it pour into your actions, your breath, your eyes, your stillness. Let it become your constant background music, your silent rhythm, your sacred drumbeat. And watch as they cannot help but respond. Watch as they turn toward you with the fire you first lit inside yourself. Watch as they echo the script you wrote in stillness. You are no longer asking if they love you. You are declaring they do. You are no longer searching for proof. You are becoming the proof. You are no longer wondering when. You are living as though it is now. And because you have made that shift, they must shift too. They will feel your pull not as pressure, but as gravity. They will feel your name rising in their mind without cause. They will feel your image calling them with quiet fire. That is how telepathy works when you know. That is how souls respond when the signal is pure. Let no fear enter your temple. Let no doubt corrode the throne of your inner power. You are the source, and they are responding to your light. So shine, be still, assume, and let that assumption do what only truth can do. Transform the world without lifting a single finger. You are the lighthouse now. You are the flame. You are the presence they cannot forget. And it began the moment you believed. And in that belief, you are born anew, not as a seeker, but as a knower, not as one who waits, but as one who commands through stillness. You become the embodiment of your desired reality. No more wavering between what is and what could be. You dissolve the illusion of time and space by anchoring yourself in the eternal now, where the union has already occurred, where the thoughts already occurred, where their thoughts already orbit your being, where their love already dances at your feet. When you walk through your day in this state, when every glance, every breath, every quiet moment is saturated with the feeling of I am already loved, I am already wanted, I am already theirs, then life reorganizes itself, not because you begged it to, but because you became the vibration that causes it. You are the cause. You are the source. You are the silent architect shaping the unseen clay of their desire. There is no force stronger than a soul convinced of its truth. This is the telepathy that binds not only their thoughts but their actions, the kind of invisible persuasion that moves deeper than logic and swifter than time. They do not know why they feel what they feel. They may try to rationalize it, assign meaning to it, call it fate or coincidence, but you will know the truth, that it was you, that it was your inner world blooming into theirs, that it was your silent declaration, they are mine, spoken so powerfully, so repeatedly, so consistently, that their reality had no choice but to echo it. And you will smile, not in arrogance, but in reverence, because this is not about dominating another. This is about the sacred remembrance that you were always one. You are simply returning to the union you chose within, the union that always existed in the field of consciousness. There was never separation, only forgetfulness. But now you remember. Now you've chosen. Now you've entered the only world that matters, the one within. Let the feeling of their obsession with you become your daily companion. When you wake, feel them already thinking of you. When you speak, imagine their attention lingering on every word you say. When you rest, know that they are dreaming of you, not because you hope it's true, but because you've declared it is. And what you declare with full faith becomes law in the unseen. It becomes gravity in their world. It becomes fire in their belly, longing in their chest, restlessness in their spirit. You do not have to convince them. You simply remain faithful to your vision and let the universe handle the delivery. This is the nature of soul-to-soul creation. It is effortless but not passive. It is simple but not weak. It is quiet but thunderous in its effect. You are not chasing them, you are summoning them. And there is a profound difference. Chasing is born of lack, summoning is born of knowing. Chasing says, I need you. Summoning says, you already feel me. And that distinction is everything. When you summon them with your unwavering assumption, they come. Not because you reached out, but because you reached in. Not because you acted in the outer world, but because you stood firm in the inner. The most powerful act you can perform is to imagine them responding before they do, to feel the joy of their love before they express it, to hear their confession of desire before it crosses their lips. Because in doing so, you make it so. You are the source. You are the origin. You are the reason. Everything you feel within you must become real around you. And the more you feel it has already done, the faster the bridges build themselves. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What once felt like delay collapses into instant manifestation. All because you chose to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. There is no telepathy greater than that. The one who lives from the end, who wakes each day with the feeling of it is already done, becomes the master conductor of the unseen orchestra. Their silence